If you were to look at a map of Europe from the 1300s to the 1800s, you might be very surprised to find an island about 200 kilometers off the coast of Ireland, in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. This island showed up in official maps for at least 500 years, and there's no actual scientific evidence that it exists. So today, let's talk about Brazil. Greetings, pod fans! It's day 23 of Pod Vida. Pod videos himself every day, name. And we're back with another conspiracy. This one is completely different because I think the other ones I've done are cemented in the real world. This one has ties to the real world, but it is folklore. With some possibility of it being an actual thing. It's wild. So first of all, let me explain the name. Not Brazil with a Z. Brazil. B-R-A-S-I-L. Also known as Hy-Brasil. H-Y-B-R-A-S-I-L. So, let's start with the etymology. We've already started with the name. But, Brazil, B-R-A-S-I-L, and Hy-Brasil, H-Y-B-R-A-S-I-L. We don't really know why that's a thing, but it's thought to come from the Irish Hy-Brasil, meaning descendants of the clan of Brasil, which is one of the ancient clans of northeastern Ireland. On the Wikipedia page, they actually go into the fact that it's not Brazil. It would be amazing if they were like, oh yeah, 200 kilometers that way? Ooh, that's Brazil. The story goes that as early as the 12th century, there was a story in Ireland that every 7 years you could see this island off the coast. So this island on maps always appeared as a circular formation and always had a little channel going through it. We know that the island was a circle because both Saint Barrand and Saint Brendan both walked around the island trying to find, I don't know, anything else, and they never found it. They just came back to where they were. These were separate occasions that people went to this island and had an old walk around. Over the years, there have been many searches for this island. In 1674, Captain John Nisbet of Killybegs, County Donegal, went on a big old journey with his crew. They were in familiar waters, a fog came up out of nowhere, and suddenly, despite being in the middle of the ocean, they were dangerously close to rocks. While trying to figure out what was going on or how they could have gotten turned around and suddenly have gone from the middle of the ocean to next to something, they anchored and 4 of the crew members went ashore to take a look around. Apparently they were gone for a whole day, and when they returned, they had silver and gold that was given to them by an old man. So strangely, the captain actually said that the island was inhabited by giant rabbits. Well, it's large black rabbits. I'm gonna go with giant because that sounds crazy and ridiculous. And also a mysterious magician, who we believe to be this old man who gave the silver and gold. So he lived in a stone castle, and he apparently has just been living there forever. Because of these numerous and varied accounts by different people, and it always having this river going through the middle of it, it just was added onto maps. There was no satellites, there was nothing like that, so people just added it in with, written word as the only proof that was there. I'm gonna level with you. There isn't much of a conspiracy here. I do have theories, but there's one real scientific one and one that is just, it's magicians. But I absolutely love the fact that this island, which was on actual maps, actual nautical maps, it showed this island, and now with the technology that we have, it's just disappeared. The island is a Sasquatch. Because it's totally possible that maybe it existed, maybe there was an old man living on this island alone. It's 200 kilometers off the coast of Ireland, so possible to get there and back on boats. He could have moved there at an elderly age, or, he could have been living there for years. It could have been his family island. And maybe global warming has gotten rid of it. Maybe this island just, was difficult to find. Yeah, as I said, there's no real conspiracy here, but it's just amazing how an island that we don't know if it existed just made its way into official documents because some people were like, oh yeah, I've been there. took a walk around the island. It was class. So yeah, I really, really want to believe that there is an island out there that every 7 years just appears out of the fog. There's an old man there with his giant black rabbits that just wants to give you silver and gold. But unfortunately, we have a scientific explanation. So approximately 200 kilometers away from Ireland, there is what's called the Porcupine Bank. This is a relatively raised area of the seabed, so it's not as deep as the ocean around it. And with it being those 200 kilometers away, it's exactly where Brazil or Hy-Brasil would be. So it's very possible that there was a little island there, that it was sitting on this bank and has washed away. It's possible that, you know, whatever weather conditions were happening that day, it was dry, and since then this has never happened again. There's a lot of possibilities there, but looking at the Porcupine Bank, looking at its location and the distance from Ireland, it kind of leads me to believe that it is something to do with that. But as I said, I really hope it's an old man magician just living on an island alone. What do you think? What do you think of, like, a mystical island that's just out there that many people have apparently been to over the years, but we've never found it with all of our fandangled technology? It's interesting. It's real interesting. And it's something that I hadn't heard of before I started talking about this. So yeah, I think it's cool. And I'm sorry today was a lot less, like, coherent and scientific and, like, read out, but I found out about this and I thought it was interesting. As I said, it's not really a conspiracy, but it's a mystical island, you know? This is like an Irish Atlantis. It's very cool. And I would recommend looking into it yourself if you're interested at all. I was interested. It is really cool, especially when it's something that I had never heard of. And, you know, I'm now at the, you know, living 29 years on this island, I'm finding out about it. It's cool. But yes, I hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to give you a recommendation for something to watch, which I know that most of you probably won't. So first of all, you should watch all 3 Mighty Ducks movies, and then you should watch Mighty Ducks Game Changers, which is releasing on Disney Plus at the moment. Who cares about Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which came out today? Mighty Ducks Game Changers. It's just a continuation of the Mighty Ducks set in 2021. Like, what is there not to love? It's got Bombay. So far, I'm on episode 2. Golden Bombay is the only recurring character, or the only returning character, I should say. If you've watched Letterkenny, the guy who plays the blonde Riley, hockey player dudes, you know, he's in it, and he's a hockey coach. So that's cool. Also, Lauren Graham, who, if you've watched Gilmore Girls, is Lorelai. She's in it as well. Of course, you got Emilio Estevez coming back as Gordon Bombay, and other people, which I don't want to look into because I don't want to spoil it for myself. That's a good plan. So yep, I recommend it because, you know, I love ducks. Mighty Ducks movies are just cool. But yeah, that's all for today, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.